Okay, Mark, so as the head security of this region for years and years, former, you've had a lot of experience with this town. We're overlooking the town of Tumulsaya now. You're from Shiloh. You ran security here for how many years?
10 years in the region.
And the whole security of the region. You've got experience here in Tumulsaya, like just about nobody else. The mayor, when we were in the village the other day, he told us that they don't have guns. Obviously, we know that's just flat out not true because the terrorist attack that we're talking about today, he obviously had a gun, and his house is just right here in this town. As the former head of security and working a lot here, what would you say to the mayor when he says something like that? They don't have guns here, is that?
Well, look, first of all, the mayor doesn't know what's happening in every house. I've personally been shot at from Tumulsaya a number of times, you know, and I'm not saying that to disgrace the village. Remember, there's good people and bad people everywhere, and I've had a lot of good experiences also with Tumulsaya with the bad.
Right.
A few minutes ago, you were talking about that, and maybe you could explain a little bit, because you have people on both sides.
Yeah.
You know, some people anti-Israel, pro-Palestinian, that says, you know, the Jews are killing Palestinians every day, and then you have the other side that, you know, all Palestinians are bad. So can you talk about that a little bit more?
Sure. First of all, regarding that, remember, in the outside world, the way that social media is happening, and again, this is, it's happening, and I'm looking at all these people who are involved in the conflict, if you will, on both sides. So the outside world loves reading that Israelis, the IDF, or settlers, or Jews, or whatever however you want to label it, are killing Palestinians every day. Now, if you go in to the Palestinian news, the regular news that these guys are reading, they're not even reading that. They see the reality on the ground that this isn't happening, and a lot of these things, this propaganda that's going on, is really intent on you know, fanning the flames, really, of conflict. So in this particular incident, this attack, you have a guy who was in the States for a number of years, Florida.
An American?
Well, he became an American. He is an American citizen. He is an American citizen. And he came back here while he got himself in a lot of trouble also. And it seems that like maybe Hamas offered him a way out. Now, he saw the extremism. This is like a classic case. There's this guy living there trying to make his life well, and yet he's hearing all this stuff, whether in the mosque and this, and the Israelis are this, you know, that we are the devil incarnate. And of course he's going to develop these opinions. Now he comes back, and we're going to keep saying this is hypothetical theory right now. I mean, the news will come out, who knows when, whether it probably won't be seen anyway, but you know, he's offered a way out and said, look, we're going to take care of all your gambling problems, we're going to take care of your marital problems, whatever. And here you have a chance to do something and maybe die as a shaheed, right? As a martyr. And hey, works. Because why else? He's got, I forgot how many kids he's got. He's got a beautiful house. Beautiful. This guy is like set. So you say, what's the motive going on? Now this is happening more and more, which even in the Israeli news, I'd like to say that it's skewed. Oh, terrorist does this. They are not terrorists. They're committing acts of terror. But the whole thing, we're in the States, what it's called now is death by cop. So here they like to call it death by IDF, death by settler. And so because they're offered ways out of either having their family killed, right? The honor killings and all that, or you can die, and then of course you get money, you know, and they have to be thankful to the U.S. tax system, the U.S. budgets that are helping the PA or whatever, and it continues to enable this. It's a way for them to make a living, if you will.
All right, Mark, it's been fantastic. Thanks for your professional view on the topic.
Enjoy.
So as we said, we're not going into Tumulsaya today. It's, I would say, a little bit sketchy in the town right now. But we're right here. This is Tumulsaya. We're gonna go to their Facebook page. You guys can check out their Facebook page too. We're not making up anything. We're just gonna pull it up right here.
I actually tried to contact him because I wanted to get a statement from the mayor. We met the mayor. He's a nice guy. We had a great interview from him in our last show. and I thought maybe he'd have a statement, but I sent them 3 different messages. That was the only contact info I could find on their Facebook page, and no response so far. In the meantime, they're posting like every 3 hours about the events that have been happening.
Can I tell you, Luke, I honestly am appalled when I read what I really just did not expect it. We went into this town, we met the people of this town last month.
Right.
I really did not expect to hear this. Literally, a man from this town, as we talked about, we just discovered he's American, well-to-do man in this town, just goes out with a gun and starts shooting people at the bus stop. And then the response of the town, here's just a Facebook post here. It says, stand tall like a minaret. You don't know a minaret, that's the tallest thing in this whole city.
The mosque.
The mosque. And it says, and send your bullets. This is on tumosiah.com. It says this. And then it says, may Allah be with you and may Allah protect you, to the terrorist.
Okay, and right when they thought they captured the terrorist, this is what they published on their Facebook page. Hebrew media publishes news about the arrest of a terrorist operation outlet after he was invaded by in Silwad. This is Google Translate from Arabic here. Oh, Allah be with him and protect him. We'll keep you informed if it's confirmed. Just a few minutes later, another post. The arrest of Shalabi, the terrorist, from the town of Tur Messiah in the town of Silwad, which is a little bit that way. Tonight, the occupation accuses him of carrying out a operation 3 days ago, which led to the death of a settler and 2 others seriously injured. God protect him and be with him. So, whatever you thought. I mean, nice people, amazing town, but I would say majority of them are supporting this murder and murderer. Yeah. And not only that, but there's already footage and photos of his house, which is a crazy house. You guys saw the beautiful mansions, the Hollywood Hills style houses that are in this town before. This guy lives in one of them. Josh, you guys see this footage.
Well, I think that it's so important for people to understand, because most people think that Arabs, because of oppression by the Israeli, whatever they call it, the Israeli forces that are attacking them somehow, are causing them to cause harm to Israelis because they're mistreated somehow.
Right.
Guys, this person.
No, look at this.
These houses back here, look. These are the finest houses you will find in this country. This person is probably the wealthiest, unbelievable house.
Absolutely. Amazing.
There's no poverty going on here that would make this man threaten to do something. Like, this is not because of Israel. That's the bottom line.
No, for sure.
This is because of propaganda and for some other reason, like maybe some more money.
Josh, there's one other thing we have to talk about.
Salaries.
This man, there's an actual chart depending on how many, and here's how it goes. It's a Palestinian martyr fund. We call it pay to slay. If a Palestinian commits a terrorist attack, he automatically begins receiving a salary. If he's killed, his family gets a salary. They get benefits, all kinds of crazy stuff. But they actually have a chart. If you're going to spend 0 to 3 years in jail, you get $400.
So that means if you don't kill an Israeli, you don't get paid as much.
$400. Because this man actually killed someone, seriously injured 2 others, I'm going to say that he's going to get at least 30 years. The 30 years plus is the highest it goes on this chart, gets $4,438 a month. $3,500. Additions. His wife is going to get 300 shekels per month. Every child that he has is going to get another 50 shekels. It goes on and on. Not only that, but they have other benefits, health care, Social Security. If he ever gets out of jail, he automatically gets hired by the Palestinian Authority. This stuff just goes on and on and on. So whether or not he did this to support his family, obviously it seems like he was wealthy. He's automatically going to begin getting a salary of more than $3,500 a month, because guaranteed he has a wife, he has a big family, he has many children, I'm sure, as typical. He could be getting $4,000 a month as a salary, sitting in an Israeli prison, his family probably living here in Tur Messiah, continuing on.
So here's what we got to tell you. As an American citizen, this man living in this town has committed such a terrible crime against Israeli citizens, is going to be paid by American tax dollars. The new funding that's coming into to the PA, Palestinian Authority, from America is going to go straight to this man's pocket with exactly what you just outlined. Americans, not acceptable. Not acceptable. Can't happen. Let's stop this thing. The pay to slay has to stop. We can't see Arabs being funded to kill Jews. And the only reason why, and we're going to talk about it in just a bit here, why Yehuda is dead right now is because he was a Jewish boy living in Israel. That was his only crime.